Hey. Doing a quick just chatting live stream here. Hey everybody, how's it going? Oh boy. Hey Tam, what's going on? Yeah, since this is a late stream, I decided to do a just chatting stream and show off my new Lenovo Legion Go that I'm getting set up currently right now. This is live stream number 981, just chatting tonight since I don't have a lot of time. And it's the 30th of, it's the last day. No, it's not. It's second to the last day of the month. There was also, in the gaming news, there was also a PlayStation State of Play showcase thing today that seemed like was pretty disappointing to most people. There was a couple cool things announced, but I think pretty much the overall consensus was that it was pretty bad. And that's not too surprising just because of the fact that Sony had already announced they have no first-party titles for the rest of the year for PS5. So they're basically relying on any third-party stuff, or they're doing PlayStation. They're trying to push PlayStation VR stuff more now, and they did announce like God of War Ragnarok, I think, for PC, but yeah, nothing really first party there. So let's see if I can get more lightage here. Hey TS, welcome in to my just chatting live stream. Let me see if I can get more light here on the desk. This is the new Legion Go that I just got. So let me see if I can maybe get some more light here. Skip. Don't update. There we go. That's a little bit better. Hey Zombie baby, welcome in. There we go. Make it nice and bright since these are black devices. So yeah, just a little bit of a comparison here first. So this is the Switch. Everybody should know what a Switch is, right? And how big it is. This is just the Switch. This is just the Switch without the nunchucks, or yeah, the Joy-Cons. So this is the screen. So you can already see how much bigger the Legion Go is when you put the Switch screen on top of that. So the Legion Go has the biggest screen in a handheld currently on the market. It's an 8.8 inch, and the whole thing is actually bigger than a Steam Deck. But it is beautiful. It's really beautiful. The screen is beautiful. Very minimal bezels. Look at that. Look how awesomely thin that bezel is. That is really nice. So very thin bezels, 8.8 inch. Basically, it's a tablet. it's a tablet. And these controllers also come off as well, like a Switch. So I'll show you what it does. Let's see if I can. It's a little like, there we go. So it comes off, immediately reconnects to the screen. So on the right one, it actually has a little tiny trackpad, and as you can see down here, you can see the mouse moving in the background. So has a little trackpad to navigate Windows 11. Has your regular analog stick here. Has your regular Xbox buttons here. Has a function key here. Has your regular shoulder buttons and your trigger buttons, your trigger analog stick buttons. And then, additionally, on the side, you have 2 more auxiliary buttons on the side, 2 more auxiliary buttons on the back, and a scroll wheel that no one else has. Scroll wheel right there. And that's just the right one. So, hey gamer, welcome in. So the left one. The left one has less buttons, but it has your D-pad, obviously. Your start or select button, your Xbox view and select buttons here. Same bumper and analog stick and 2 auxiliary buttons. The cool thing, one of the cool things about the Legion is that this actually has called FPS mode. So it actually has a mouse optical tracker on the bottom of this right stick. So basically you can turn it like this. That's why they have like a trigger buttons right here, right? You can turn it like this. You can put it in a included dock, like a round dock like this, and then you can move it around like a mouse, but it's vertical. So you can like control movement like this with your left hand, and then you're holding the right nunchuck basically vertically, and you can move it around horizontally like a mouse. So that's a unique feature to the Legion Go, and people that use it, the reviewers, says it works pretty well. It takes a little bit to get used to holding, your mouse, but in a vertical way. You're right, instead of horizontal, you're holding it like this instead. Yeah, it's like a joystick mouse, like this. Basically like this, and you're holding it down and you're moving it around. So in fact, let's see if I can turn it on and maybe you can see the mouse. I think you just flip the switch. There's a switch on the bottom of the controller. You just switch to the on position, and oh yeah, there we go. So it works. See? So I'm holding it with that part down on the table, and it's a mouse. And it looks exactly responsive too. So that's pretty neat. I don't know if I would ever use that feature, but because like I'm not sure how many FPS games I'm gonna actually play on here. but I can, right? This is powerful enough. It's basically one of the most, I think it's pretty much on par with the most powerful handhelds on the market right now. So, so I have that option to like play any modern game. Maybe I'll put Hellblight on it and see what happens. It can't do ray tracing though yet. These handhelds, like this one, and this is my A&EO. This is the one that I've talked about on the stream before. This is my previous one that I still really love the form factor on it. This one has an all glass front, which makes it really nice. I love the form factor on this one. It's just so comfortable. The screen is no slouch either, but it's a 7-inch compared to the Legion, which is just way bigger. You can just tell right there. But still, this one's pretty good. But Windows, you can see the difference in size. Look at these icons on the 7-inch. Okay. Pretty small. And then on the Legion, like they're way bigger. So it's not just, it's way more touch friendly because the screen is so big. Yeah. Like touching the screen, right, is like way better. Even pressing the little close button in the corner, right, is totally doable with your fingertip now. But again, since this has a built-in trackpad on the side too, you can just like use that as well, which smaller handhelds like the A&EO 2, they don't have trackpads, so you have to use the analog stick as a mouse. And you can see this is the max speed it goes. This is the max speed. So it's pretty slow. And it's just it's not quite ideal, right, for Windows when you're trying to do something. But anyways, this is the 1 terabyte version. They have a 512 gig version, but this one's the 1 terabyte. It has a micro SD slot here, and I also bought a 1 terabyte micro SD. This is the back. Has a full size kickstand, which is also great because it's so freaking huge. So you can just lay it on your table and boom, you can take off the controllers if you want, or you can just play on the table like this. Just rest and just rest and just you don't have to hold it. You press this little button on the side. This is how you configure your your power usage. So you press this little. Is it this button or this one? Do I have it installed yet? I might not have it installed. I guess I don't. Does this work? Is it working? Stuff working? Yes. Is it heavy? It's... Is it heavy versus... I guess it's a hard question to answer. I guess I would say it's not as heavy as I would have thought. for this device. I was thinking about getting the ANU Kun, which is their big, big screen version of this, that has like twice the amount of battery in it. This one has like what was it? I want to make sure I get the specs. Cause this one has the battery. Heavier than a Steam Deck. That's also a good question. Controller firmware update. So it's doing. I'm installing the Lenovo official program for it. That when you press this button, it'll just fly out like a little menu, and that's where you can adjust its power usage. Okay, Steam Deck is 640 grams. Legion Go is 854 grams. So a couple hundred more grams. I also believe this screen is not. It's not an OLED. It's not an OLED screen versus the Steam Deck OLED. So like this is the OLED switch. This is the OLED switch. It's kind of hard to see, but you see that black. You see that black around these like tiles, right? So that's the OLED of the Switch right there. This one's not OLED, but it doesn't mean like the screen's not good at all. The screen is beautiful looking in person, for sure. So yeah, a little bit heavier than a Steam Deck, but then like again, I feel like I would be mostly putting it on the table because it has this really great kickstand, or like putting it on, or if I'm holding it, put like a pillow on me or something. Yeah, so here's the setup for the Legion software. So this L button is to open the Legion Space homepage, and then I can press the right button here to just have it fly out a quick menu in Windows, which we'll take a look here in a second. Left plus bumper brings up the shortcut list. And this is the controller mode, which they call FPS mode. We can hold it vertically. Detach controller from the console. Just giving it some. Have fun! Above all else, have fun! Okay, hang on a second. So I mostly got this. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right. It comes with Windows 11 at home as well. All I did was update Windows 11 and install the Legion space. That's it. So here's a little flyout menu as well. So you can see up top the battery of the battery in both of the controllers and the battery inside of the screen as well. That's not the right time. It is not 11:30 in the morning. You can change the performance of the device as well just by pressing a little button. You can see your performance monitor here. You can see your thermal mode of the fan speed and the fan curve. You can do an FPS limiter and an OS power mode, balanced, efficient performance. That's nice. That's nice. So a lot of quick menu options right here. Really great. Screen brightness right here. Your sound, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, screen resolution, so you can just boom right there on the fly. Boom. There you go. Super quick. You don't even have to go into Windows, which is awesome. That's the cool part, is that you don't have to go into Windows. Like, okay, hang on a second, I gotta go here, I gotta go in the display, and I gotta go blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Refresh rate. This is 144. This is 144 hertz screen, by the way. So, yeah, you can run frame rates up to 144 FPS. How much does the Legion cost? That is actually the great thing about it, is that it's actually less expensive than I would think it should cost. So you can get I think you can get the 512 version for $630, and then the 1 terabyte is actually not that much more expensive. They're actually having sales right now. So this has been out for about 6 months so far. But yeah, refresh rate is great if you want to run it at 60 FPS or 144 FPS. That's really great. There's a frame monitor, Radeon Super Resolution. Here's your controls for controller key mapping, controller vibration, lighting effects, because they have the analog sticks here. Both have RGB right here. You can turn those off, save power if you want, or change the lighting effects. You got the touchpad controls, touchpad vibration, controller hibernation to save power. Got some quick setting options here. You can do external display. It has a USB-C out. But yeah, that's the quick menu, which is great. And then we got the regular full on. This is the full on thing here, the full on menu. If you want to go into your library, I don't have any games installed yet. But this is kind of like a quick launcher for all your games, and it'll scan your machine for all your Steam games, all your Xbox games, any games that are standalone that you install, that you install it in your machine as well. So that's cool. A&EO also has kind of like the same thing as well. So they got the little flyout menu, but it's not quite as streamlined. It's similar, but I like the look of the Legion better. And then you do like a long press, and then it shows you like your library here. So all of these handhelds have their own launchers. Even the ROG Ally, right? The Steam Deck has its own, obviously, which basically uses Steam OS. So let me see if I can get something running real quick. Exit and up here. Yeah, like I would actually expect it to be more expensive because the ANEO Kun, which is the comparable device to this, that's over 1,000. That's like 1,200 for that thing. So yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Lenovo has been, they've been in the hardware business for a while. So I guess they just were able to like, hey, we can make it cheaper. I'm gonna try to get the see if I can get the Xbox app installed here real quick. But yeah, just on my ANEO 2, which has, I believe this is the 7-inch. It's just the icons are just so the icons are just pretty small. It's still pretty small, and the text on there is, yeah, it's small. And for my aging eyes, I just want a bigger screen. That's why I pretty much went with. That's one of the reasons why I went with this, because like I needed a bigger screen. Needs update. Yeah, I like the trackpad to navigate with the mouse. That's nice. Even though I can also use the touch as well. And actually, Danny, I was the exact opposite. Actually, I was like, oh no, I don't want a big screen device. Like at first I was like, I don't need one. I don't need one. And then after I started buying these handhelds, I was like, man, Windows, even when you adjust the Windows settings to enlarge the font and stuff, it's still like just not big enough. And Windows is doing things. They are doing things to be able to work better on smaller smaller devices. So they are making strides to make Windows run better on these small screen devices, because all these devices are using Windows. All these big ones are using Windows. So it's in Microsoft's best interest to make Windows more small screen friendly. So all right, I'm installing Hellblade 2 on it. Let's see if shouldn't take too long. So we're on Wi-Fi. That's going to take a little bit of time. That's going to take a little bit of time. I could do a cloud gaming thing, but that's cheating. It's not, because anything can run cloud gaming. Humanity just came out today on Game Pass, as well as Lords of the Fallen as well. So yeah. Another game that got updated was Immortals of Avium. This was also Unreal Engine 5. This is another Unreal Engine 5 game that on launch, it was a total disaster. Total disaster. Visually, they could not get it to run normally on the console without reducing the internal resolution of the game to like 480p. And so they basically upscaled the game from 480p to like 4K, which was a total disaster. So the game just looked horrible. Since then, it's been a total 180 with the game. So now they actually implemented something that no other game on the market has done on console. And they have introduced FSR 3, which is an upscaling technology and frame generation technology that, if you're familiar with the 4000 series RTX cards from NVIDIA, they have frame generation, which is basically using AI technology to generate extra frames to give you more frame rate. So it takes a real frame, uses AI generation, creates additional frames, and so suddenly your 30 FPS game turns into a 60 FPS game, or a 60 FPS game turns into a 120 FPS game. And that's how we're getting more frame rate out of these games that are heavier games that are made with the latest Unreal Engine 5 game engine. So, but on the console side, that has been absent from the console side, even though current generation consoles, at least Xbox Series X, can technically handle doing that. It has the power. But yeah, this game is the first implementation of frame gen on console on the Series X, and it works amazing. the game. I actually tried it out myself today, and I got like I didn't get 120 FPS, but I got like over 100 FPS in the game. Whereas before it was like under 60. Like it couldn't hold a stable 60 FPS. So it was pretty incredible, pretty awesome to see. And that could apply to like any game. Like it could be applied to maybe Hellblade 2, which is 60 or 30 FPS on console. So it's just yeah, it's basically a way to have it's a way to basically have video cards, have games that really are pushing state-of-the-art graphics and still have them run great with current hardware. Otherwise, our GPUs, our hardware would be falling behind gaming, pretty much, without this upscaling technology. So yeah. Oh, and the studio, the gaming, the developer of Immortals of Avium, yeah, EA shut him down because the game did so bad. So EA shut them down, and basically it was a going away present from the developer, as like, this is our last update to the game since EA shut us down. Enjoy. So it's just so, I don't know what the word is. Ironic, maybe? Is that the word we're looking for here? That like, oh, we're shutting down, but we're gonna do something nobody else in the industry has done on consoles until now. Right? It's like, mic drop. So okay, so Hellblade 2 is still, it's almost halfway done. Let's just try some cloud gaming. You can see me in the reflection. It's loading again. Is gonna do a sync. Oh. It doesn't have to do a sync. Cool. This is playing Harold Halibut over cloud gaming. That was quick. Let's see if it gives me any options for display. I don't think so. So I've actually been playing Harold Halibut. All water. All water. So I'm just zooming in here on the screen. I don't know if you can really tell. I mean, it looks great. I mean, in person. See if I can get it without. Let me get to a bright area. Hang on. And this is over cloud gaming as well. So this is streaming. This is streaming over the internets. And let's see how close can I get this. And I'm not seeing any stream artifacts here, like at all. You can see that little detail, right? You can see the little detail there. Yeah, and then just in person, I mean, this literally looks like it's natively running. Maybe there's a tiny hiccup. Oh, what do I have my power draw at? That's the big question. What's my power draw? Power saving. So it's using 17% CPU right currently. GPU is 4. So it's using more CPU for the cloud gaming right now. GPU is almost nothing, which is expected. Thermal mode. Have the fans on quiet. You can hear it. You can hear it. You can hear the fan just a tiny bit. I'll put it up to the mic. Yeah, it's coming out the top here. It's blowing out the top there. You can hear it. It's pretty warm, but it's not that. It's not that. It's yeah. It's super quiet. Um, you want to hear it full speed? Do you want to hear a hair dryer? Whoa. Can I can use it to. I can use it to blow my hair. Hang on. You can look at my. Okay, watch my hair. Watch. Watch. See. It's hair dryer mode. That's what it is. It is. Okay. Smart cam or smart mode. But granted, though, this is just a cloud gaming game. It's not. It's hardly using any GPU uh, at all. So this is not indicative. This is not like worst case. This is not like a bad case scenario at all. It's basically this is basically hardly even more than like watching a movie. You know, like on the screen. So it's really not using much. But this is like still, this is like super. This is just really impressive. The fact that it looks like this, and this is cloud gaming. So the what now? So let me disconnect the controllers live. We're gonna do this live. Let's see if. Uh-oh, hair dryer mode is on. Let's see. This is pause, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the controller still works. Then the little menu also works. Nice. Okay. I think we may have to try something a little bit crazier. A little bit crazier. Let's get crazy. Let's see. Where would the... Oh, how's the sound? It's a little... I gotta take out my earbuds. Let me take out my earbuds. So... Let me quit to the main menu. Okay. So the speakers... Oh, they're up firing speakers. So yeah, this is basically the tablet. this is this is funny. So these holes here, these are the two speakers. This is the power button, the 3.5-inch jack, the vents for the fan, micro SD card, USB-C, and volume up and down. On the bottom, they have another USB-C, second one. Let's see how it sounds. This is max volume. Is that max volume? That's max volume on Windows. It doesn't seem that loud, but I wonder if it's just the music. It sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound too tinny. It sounds, yeah. It sounds pretty decent. Yeah. It sounds way better than it sounds better than my A&E02, which has the speakers on the bottom here. But I feel like there's not a lot of bass in this one. Yeah. I think it sounds pretty good. Let's quit. Quit, and then Hellblade. Oh, Hellblade's done. Hellblade is done. Okay. Let's go crazy. This is probably not going to run well. I'm just going to tell you right now. I don't expect Hellblade to run well, but we will see. I'm going to put this back on. I like to figure out where I can hold this thing. Okay, let's go. It's thinking. It's probably like, what the hell? You want to run Hellblade 2? Let's do thermal. Let's do a balanced mode. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about? It really was. It's like, are you sure you want to play this game? thinking about it. Maybe. What's happening? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna restart it. I think it's probably doing either it was doing something in the background, or there's updates. Yeah, that was the problem. Got updates. Legion. Updates always take up cycles. I don't want to do updates. I don't want updates. Okay. Oh, it's updating the Legion software. That's what's happening. Okay. What's going on here? I wonder if I have to update the AMD driver. I might have to update the AMD driver. Why are you not even launching? That is a question. Okay, hang on. Let me see if it's updating. If it's updating some more. No? It says up to date. Oh, you know what? That's right. I think there's something you have to do to get it to work. Let's see, what is this? No? Why isn't it launching? Looking up. All right, that'll be something I'll have to investigate. So, I was going to try Starfield. Go. Again, this is the cloud gaming version, so it's cheating. But this would at least show what's the FPS control out of it. I have no room for like anything here on my desk anymore. I got nothing. Okay. I can probably turn on my lights now. And put the maximum volume. I guess the only thing I wish the kickstand would even go even further down, but I guess I can make it flat. There we go. Gameplay settings. Display. So again, I have this on. Well, I mean, again, this is not taxing the system at all. Yeah, so you can see there's black bars. There are black bars right here. Focus. There you go. So you can see the bezel, which is pure black, and because the resolution of the screen is more portrait, the game doesn't scale all the way to the top, but so yeah, you can see the contrast there just by default, which is really, it looks great. In person, looking at that, I almost can't tell between the bezel and the black there. So it's a really great looking, yeah, it's a really great looking panel.
Listen, I know you didn't have to tell us everything about the artifacts. We won't
Well, it is customary to say, welcome home.
So yeah, playing on the Xbox controller, as I have been, I always judge a controller, I always judge analog sticks against the standard Xbox, analog stick. Always, right? Because that's what I'm used to. So these ones feel really good. Let's see if you can see them better. Focus. So it has little friction texture on the very outside of the analog stick, which is just a little bit different from the Xbox One. The Xbox One has more of the edge covered with that texture on the outside. But this one feels pretty good. Like, and the edges of the analog stick, right? When you hit the full edge and like rotate around, that's really smooth as well. So there's zero friction there actually. So it actually feels like the Elite Xbox controller, the Elite one. which, as I mentioned before on stream, has that frictionless ring in here on the inside. So it's like super buttery smooth when you're rotating around that edge. So looks like the Legion Go has that, which is cool. And then
Trace physiological and neurological readings.
trigger wise, triggers.
Really are something.
Trigger wise, yeah, the triggers feel fine. It's really big. If you have big hands, this is the device for you. I mean, there's no
I know you didn't have to tell us everything about the artifacts.
question.
Now to waste.
This is a big boy. This is a big boy. This is for big boys. So like the handle, the whole handle itself too is like it just fills up your hand, right? Like it's just it's chonky. So so like look how skinny the Switch is compared to that. I mean, look how thin that Switch is. And then even the ANEO 2, right? The ANEO 2 that I have, which has really great ergonomics. Focus. Come on. Still isn't quite as chonky, especially in the middle. But what I love about my ANEO 2, I'm pretty much selling you guys on like all of these devices. But what I love about the ANEO 2 is that this part here, like it just goes right in the palm of your hand like that. And you just wrap your hand around, right? That feels nice. Like this is what I love about the ANEO 2 is that palm, you know, that they actually call this the what do they call this? They have a name for this design. It's like the mother's it's like holding a baby. It's like some baby. Literally on the ANEO website, they have a photo of like a baby being held like by a mom, and it's like palming the ANEO 2 is like a mother holding her baby in her arms. It's the infant. It's the infant palm grip. Whereas the Legion doesn't really have that. I mean, it just has this hard edge here, which goes into your palm. Which I don't know. Some people have actually complained about it, that it just has the hard edge here on this side. And people on Etsy have actually already solved the problem. They, if you go to Etsy, you can buy little molded rubber grips, like rubber controller edge grips, that actually make this edge softer. So people have already solved some problems that people have complained about, like this harder edge. If it bothers you, they've also fixed another problem, or not a problem, but fixed another thing, where let's say you want to use this as like one controller, right? The Switch has an included like middle section that you can like clip the Joy-Cons into, but like Lenovo didn't make a first party like connector for this so that you could actually hold it like a controller. So again, Etsy, go to Etsy. They have made 3D printed little middle pieces that you can just latch these into, and so you hold it like a normal controller. So they've also made entire skins for the device. There is a Starfield skin for the entire thing. So all of this, all the edges, the entire back, the entire controller, they have like entire skins, like sticker skins that you can uh, make it look like however you want. The Switch is definitely. I mean, the Switch is.
Make yourself at home. I think you already know where everything is.
The Switch is no slouch. It's been around forever. Um, I'm actually pretty excited for the Switch 2 that should be maybe announced later on this year and coming out next year. I'm actually pretty excited for that. Um, so we'll see what happens. But these handheld devices are just going to be getting better and better, like every 6 months, pretty much. So like Lenovo has already kind of leaked out a light version of this. So potentially a cheaper model, but same processor. So, so yeah.
Starboard. I will assist in any way I can.
So yeah, kind of watch out for that if you're looking to maybe getting one or contemplating getting the Go. They are making looks like a light version. So, and this is not even the only one. And again, there's a ton of these out there, like the ROG Ally.
Your father dropped by.
Um, the ROG Ally is definitely a way smaller device, but it has really great support by Asus. Yeah, I'll have to look up why Hellblade doesn't even launch. Oh, I think I remember. So, okay, here's the thing. With these devices, the VRAM and the RAM are both shared memory. So that means that for a game to run, it needs to have the minimum amount of supported VRAM, video RAM, for it to run. And because these handhelds have just one pool of memory for RAM and VRAM, it actually has to pull some of that VRAM out of that shared pool. So let's see. It sounds like, yeah, it sounds like I have to change this. I gotta change the driver, I think. Let's see. Let's try this. Let's see. Go into device manager. Okay, let me try something real quick before we call it a night here. Someone says go to device manager. Select the AMD GPU. Driver. Why am I using my finger? Just use the mouse. Oh, it says I have the best driver. But I wonder why it won't launch. Yeah, some people are just saying it's not gonna, either it launches or you have to like tweak it to make it work. But again, you're not really gonna be running Hellblade 2 on this. I tried it on my ANEO 2 and it was looking bad. It was bad looking. It ran, but it was bad looking. So you're not gonna be playing the latest and greatest. But I think pretty much everything else, like Hellblade 2, or not Hellblade 2, Helldivers. I'm gonna install Helldivers on this thing and check it out as well. I got a bunch of retro games and stuff that are on my ANEO, so I'll move those over here as well. I do have other Steam games that I want to get on here that I usually play. Should look really awesome. So we've been messing with things for a while. We're at 69% battery. Nice. So not bad considering we've been messing with things for probably like an hour, 15 minutes. So yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got Streets of Rage 4 on there. I got like these are kind of my go-to games just for playing in general. Yeah, Streets of Rage 4, Tempest 4000. That's another kind of one of my go-to ones. I have on the emulation side, I have a lot of the Sega Model 3 arcade titles on there, which include games like Daytona USA 2, Virtua Fighter 3, some of their light gun games, which I actually don't really play too well on these anyway, since I want to use a light gun on those. I'm usually using this for like a quick gaming session, so it's not like anything. I'm not usually playing for like an hour, right? So it's like stuff I can load up quick, right? Like the emulation stuff. Or like a quick Streets of Rage, session, or a Tempest session, or even like Tetris Effect, right? Tetris Effect is one of my go-to ones as well. Um, but yeah, just a lot of the ones that are more arcadey are the ones that I usually play it for. So, but at least on the bigger one, right? Like it's better on the eyes. Um, you know, it's it's gonna be it's gonna be cool to actually get this set up so that I can play 2-player, say with my daughter. So she would be playing on the Xbox on the TV. But if I can get this set up so that I can play the same game in like her party or something, that we could both have like full screens, right? And I could still play with her like in the front room, right? Especially since she's getting into Minecraft right now. And playing Minecraft on a 60-inch screen, a split screen, that's not really fun. It's not. It sounds like a fun. It sounds like fun, but it's not. Split screen on that small 60-inch screen. Yeah, it's rough because your vertical display, is very short. So you never play Minecraft after all these years. I started playing it in the Xbox 360 days. So that was pretty much that's when I first kind of seriously got into it. And then I seriously got into it in the 360 days, playing on 360. So and after a while I quit. And then so like just playing Minecraft now with my daughter, bringing back all the memories. I had to look up everything like, oh my god, how do I build a pickaxe? How do I build a crafting box? Like just that basic stuff. It's like, oh man. We're gonna have to load up Minecraft RTX on stream sometime. The ray traced version of Minecraft looks absolutely incredible. Really, really crazy. Okay, our stream avatars are gonna have to go away here because I'm starting a Steam game. I'm starting up a Tempest 4000 here on the ANEO. I don't have Steam installed on the Legion yet, so Jump.
Pleasure.
Oh. That was a. I'm not putting enough. I'm not giving it enough juice. I was at 15 watt here in it. It was like, oh my god, for a second. 15 watt. It's seems okay though. Still at 15 watt. Right bumper. Right. Anyway. Yeah, that's kind of like what I. That's what I like to load up. And then lastly, I will show you my Sega Model 3 arcade emulation. This is pretty much what I use this for. And this is like Daytona USA 2 was not released on home consoles ever. So like this stuff has been only released in the arcades, which I really want. I really want Sega to release these Model 3 games. So, if you're not familiar with Sega's arcade hardware, Sega, pioneered graphics back in the day, actually. The Sega Model 1 hardware, that was like the first iteration of using polygons in a game. And then they called like their next generation version Model 2 hardware. Then the Model 3 hardware, which is what Virtua Fighter 3 and Daytona USA 2 and a bunch of other games were released on. A lot of these Model 3 games are actually still in arcades today. Like modern arcades will still have Model 3 games, right? That's kind of like how they've stood the test of time graphics wise. And still look great today. And then the Sega Dreamcast, that was actually based off of I think like a version of like the Model 3 hardware. And so basically their arcade division, right, led the graphics, led on hardware, which influenced, the Sega's Dreamcast, which was their last console, unfortunately. But yeah, like I love Daytona USA 2. I love Daytona USA 1, and just the fact that I have not been able to play like this game outside of the arcade until just, recently has been really awesome. And it's arcade perfect. It actually looks better than the arcade. They have raised up the resolution. The frame rate is higher. It's widescreen compatible. They've done so much modding to the game to make it just play just perfectly. They've even remapped the arcade steering wheel, because these games are made for like arcade controls, right? So just playing the game using an analog stick does not work, because it's looking for a steering wheel, right? And pedals. So somebody modded or added a mod to the game to properly map the arcade controls to analog sticks. So that's why you can't just do like a straight port, right? You have to like I said, you have to be thoughtful and like remap that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just great. It's perfect. Do I own any arcade cabinets? That's one thing I never. At one point, I wanted to get one, for sure, and just didn't happen. And then, yeah, it was just like, ooh, do I really want to get an arcade cabinet? Because like, I would be kind of locked into one game. Or if I wanted to switch games, it would take a lot of modding, yada yada, So yeah, I never did. I do have a really good friend who actually does. He has a basement, and he has an arcade. He has an arcade down there, in his basement. He has a bunch of arcade regular cabs and some. Even some pinball ones. Final Fight would be so cool. I would totally have one. I would totally get one. Probably like Final Fight. Final Fight would be an awesome one just to have. I would always play a game with Final Fight. I bought Final Fight on like every console, pretty much. There's actually pretty few games that I would actually say that, yeah, I would have a dedicated cabinet for that. Final Fight would probably be one of my highest picks. Yeah. I'm sure there's a few other ones that I would probably do, but that one definitely comes to mind. I'd probably like a Neo Geo cab, but I have a Neo Geo Gold console, so I got the actual Neo Geo console, so, and the arcade stick that it comes with, so it is an arcade machine. It is. It's just not in the cabinet form. So yeah. You missed your gauntlet cabinet. That was that was 4-player, wasn't it? I think if that like Arcade Go guys, is that what they're called? The arcade or One Up, the One Up guys. If they made a Final Fight like minicab, I may have to spring for it. Have I played Burning Fight? Funny. You should mention that game. Because let's see. Well, she wasn't playing that, but my daughter was playing my daughter was actually playing with my little mini Neo Geo. So I have the mini Neo Geo, and she was playing King of the Monsters. She played King of the Monsters 1, and then King of the Monsters 2, and then she tried out not Burning Fight, but this other one. I was like, oh, don't run into them. Don't run into them. Just shoot them. She got bored of that one quick, I think. But I had her try that little Neo Geo. There's not a lot of Neo Geo games on there that she can actually play and not like die instantly. So King of the Monsters is one that she could play. Personally, yeah, I think I did try Burning Fight. Yeah. Which was actually great because I was like, man, like Neo Geo needs a side scroller beat 'em up. It needs a side scrolling beat 'em up. So I was like happy to see that they had at least that one. I'm gonna plug in my Legion so I can keep installing games on here later. Yeah, I don't own any of the Neo Geo. I didn't really buy any of the Neo Geo games on Xbox over the years, just because of the fact that I had the Neo Geo and I have the Neo EverDrive for my Neo Geo console, which I have all the ROMs on it, so I can actually play any game on my real Neo Geo if I want. And then I also have like half a dozen machines that can emulate the Neo Geo perfectly. So a few of my favorite games on Neo Geo were Fatal Fury 2, Fatal Fury Special. That's how they said it. Fatal Fury Special. What else? King of the Fighters. I wasn't really into, but I do have King of Fighters 94, and you know, who doesn't love Mai, right? Am I right, guys? Who doesn't love Mai? Samurai Showdown was probably my most like very much loved fighting game. That was Samurai Showdown in the arcade was the my first exposure as a kid to the Neo Geo arcade machine, and I was like blown away. It was like the craziest thing ever. The music was amazing. I would always go to the arcade and I would just go to the arcade and like just listen to the intro music, not even play the game. I would just go over to the machine and listen to it. Yeah, that was also the time when World Heroes 2 fighting game, when that was also out. World Heroes. I liked World Heroes, but it was a bit slow. So it did speed up as the sequels rolled out, but I thought it was a little bit slower in terms of for a fighting game. I love all the shooters, all the shoot 'em ups on the Neo Geo. Love all the shooters. They're so great. They look great. And of course we have you know, what's that platformer? Metal Slug. Metal Slug. That's how they... All the Neo Geo games, right? All of them have some guy saying the title of the game, right? So it's like the titles come in, boom, boom, Metal Slug. Or like, here comes the titles for King of Fighters. King of Fighters. And sometimes it's in a Japanese accent. So. Yeah, Art of Fighting was interesting mostly because of the fact that it had giant characters, some of the biggest sprites in a fighting game for the time. And then also it had the scaling, so it zoomed out and zoomed in as the characters got further away. So that was really cool. And then Samurai Showdown also adopted that, the zooming out and zooming in aspect. So that was really cool. And I always wanted a Neo Geo as a kid, but if you wanted to buy one, they were $700. So, and the games were like $200. Each game was $200. Because it was literally the arcade board. It's the arcade board in a case. And if you wanted to buy a game, it's $200. It could have been more, but I think 200 was like the base price. I think, right? Were they more expensive than $200? I'm sure probably the price range fluctuated depending on how big the game was. 200, 250. I can't even imagine Babbage's carrying stock of that. That's wild. It's wild that any retail store would actually sell the Neo Geo. Like, it's just so out of the price range of like any kid, unless they were rich. Or they had like a side hustle. We had these kids with side hustles. Yeah, it's crazy. I got a stack of Neo Geo AES. That's what they called it. AES carts. I think I have maybe like 6 games in the EverDrive. You can also buy just the arcade hardware. You can buy in the Neo Geo MVS, which is the actual arcade board. You can just buy one right now, and you can put it in a 3D printed case, and you can hook it up and play that too. I think there's actually places online that sell MVS boards in cases with power supplies and proper video outputs on Neo Geo. So it's pretty crazy what you can buy right now. And the MVS versions of the games, those are cheaper. Because, you know, they didn't come in like fancy boxes for like consumers. So the arcade board ones are generally cheaper. Okay, guys, we do gotta wrap this up tonight. Thanks so much for being here on our Just Chatting night today, showing off the Legion Go. I'm gonna figure out why Hellblade doesn't launch. I'm just curious. I think it has to do with the VRAM. There's a way to dedicate more VRAM for memory, or just RAM for memory. So I think I have to go into the BIOS or something and actually adjust that to make Hellblade 2 run. So I'm probably gonna put I'll put some Forza Horizon 5 on here. I'll do direct benchmarks from both this and my ANEO 2. I want to benchmark that because Forza Horizon 5 has a really good benchmark, built-in benchmark. Hell, maybe I'll put Cyberpunk on there because Cyberpunk also has a really good benchmarking mode. Yeah, maybe I'll try out some Helldivers just to see how it runs. I don't really plan on expecting to play Helldivers on here, but why not? I want to try the some of the top games on here and just see how it handles it. Because I can. So yeah. So yeah. Fun times. New toys. Yep. So yes. Thanks so much, guys. And tomorrow I really should be doing a DJ stream tomorrow. Really should be.
Srima sent good times.
And thank you. Thank you, honored. But yeah, I should be doing a DJ stream. So we'll see. I want to do a gaming stream though. I kind of want to do a gaming stream, but I should be doing a DJ one. But we'll see. Good night, guys. Thanks so much for being here for Just Chatting stream. Yeah, and yeah, we'll catch you next time. Okay.